Yeah.
And we'll just give it another few seconds. Now we're recording. We're also streaming live on social media as well. And I wanted to say welcome. My name is Mike Blinder. I am the publisher of E&P Magazine. To some of you who registered for this webinar weeks ago, we thank you for your indulgence and your pliability and your ability to understand. We've had some interesting things. I had surgery. This is the first I've discussed it live during my programs, but you'll notice I have a little patch right here now, but all is well. My surgery went perfectly and I am doing great. Unfortunately, you see a face on your screen now for Andrew Harding. He is, we basically now have another panelist that was supposed to cover that is not going to be, how should I put this? Christian, maybe you can help us with that. I mean, we are now in a position where it's just going to be the three of us, right? Julia, you and me, correct?
That's correct, but the good thing is we have a video statement of Andrew, so he will be with us at least for part of it, and the rest of the presentation we discussed, but unfortunately he had to undergo surgery as well, so it's really a special webinar this time.
But we're made it so far. Knock on wood, we'll get through this. Here's what I wanted to make sure everybody understood on this webinar, that we are on a platform called Zoom. You do know Zoom, everybody's using it right now, but you'll notice you have options below you. I'm going to try to keep us all in one place for any questions, information you crave. If we say something you don't agree with, if you just want to spout off, why not do it in the chat room? And keep in mind, when you go into the chat room on Zoom, it automatically defaults to just sending a message to the panelist. If you don't mind, I'd love for you to change that to attendees and panelists. That way, everyone could be privy to whatever dialogue is going on. Now, of course, if you pop something in the Q&A by mistake, not chat, we'll try to find it and address your questions. But if we could keep it all in one place, that would be amazing. And with that being said, welcome to our program, How AI is Generating Millions in Turnkey SMB Ad Revenue Across Europe. It is sponsored by, and of course, hosted by us here at E&P, but sponsored by Smartico. And with that being said, I'd like to introduce, if I may, the founder and CEO of Smartico, Christian. Welcome. I thought we would take the beginning of these case studies and first have you personally, if you don't mind, explain exactly what Smartico is. And I know you've been doing a lot of presentations in the US now, attending a lot of conferences, getting your name out. But why don't you give us the cook's tour of the product and introduce our audience to it?
Yes, Mike, I'd love to do that. So thank you very much for the opportunity. So today I would love to talk a little bit about building profit centers for successful local and regional advertising with the power of AI and human touch, and what we learned doing that in Europe for now more than 10 years. So what we always focus on is like monetizing the loyal 10%, so the 10% of local advertisers in a community that are still doing advertising with the newspapers, but also finding clever ways how to win back those 90% that might not be doing that anymore. So very, very quickly about us. So we are all about creating new local advertising revenues for publishers of all sizes. So more than 500 publications that we work with, large to small, weekly to daily, rural to urban, north to south, west to east, and doing more than 500,000 local ads per year. We have been doing this for the last 10 plus years. And very quickly also about myself. So I'm the owner and CEO of the company. I'm an aviation engineer by training. So that means I want to find the engineering solution to something. So AI and technology is very much at the core of me. And I'm a local sales enthusiast by heart. That's my passion. We as Smartico are a 50 plus people remote first team all across Europe. I've been doing work with advertisers, local advertisers for regional publishers over the last 20 years. And over this time with Smartico and without Smartico, I built more than 100 local ad sales profit centers. So that's very quickly about us, and the issue or the challenge that we are addressing for lots of regional publishers is what you can see here. on an exemplary newspaper from the US, the Virginian Pilot. Here is an example. So I called it the programmatic advertising trap. You see this wonderful Bonvoy Marriott advertising. That looks nice, but obviously that's not sold directly by the newspaper. That's third-party providers, often Google, that put the ad there that they sold on your news website. And obviously they take a 30% cut for it. So that's number one. Obviously, they take a cut. But the other thing that we obviously see, it's not always looking that nice. Like in the example here from Bonvoy, you can get totally different ads. Like if you look at sunglasses ads like Portugal Visa, pet health hacks or other stuff, or pure call to actions like this start thing. This often has the chance to not only bring you low CPM, so low prices per 1,000 impressions, it very often leads to a situation where you lose trust and quality on your page. Usually those programmatic ads are somewhere between $1 and $3. And I mean, like, we can all make the math, even if we have 1 million ad impressions. And I mean, like, for bigger publishers, that might be not too much. But if I am a smaller publisher, 1 million ad impressions is quite a goal to reach. And I can make the math and I say, like, for each 1,000 ad impressions, I just get $1 to $3. I end up at $1,000 to $3,000 of monthly revenue with my website. And obviously, I can't fund a newsroom with those kind of dollars. And what I said before, that's even something that now Google acknowledges. And they say in their Google News initiative that we all very well know, that they would advise you not to take only the Google money for the programmatic from $1 to $5 CPM, but you should rather go to direct ad sales, because that will return you $10 to $20. So even Google has to admit it, that probably won't fund your newsroom. And we are all about how can we get the CPM higher, because we think it's not only about the CPM. As I said before, it's also about ruining the UX and the trust. If you have only that ads, it doesn't look really nice. And even worse, if you have those fake editorial contents, like in this case, those 3 teaser boxes, it feels like your website would advertise those very serious and trustworthy things like air ambulance prices you won't believe. That's not what you want to have on your original news page. So what we say, we have to change that, because programmatic is almost like a drug. That means even if we have a local advertiser, like in this example, we suddenly get the Bodacious Bazaar, which is 100% a regional customer. When we look at this customer, we'll see that they booked via Google. So that means they paid only $1 to $3, even though for them it would be worth the 10 or 20. There is no chance for me as a newspaper to ever convert this regional customer back to me. And I have to find a way how I make more direct sales with those local advertisers. I have to be more exclusive with local advertising, with local ad slots on my local newspaper. That's what we believe, and that's what we are all about. And I want to show you now how we solve that for a few hundred European publishers. The big question, why can we not only sell always direct? So the beauty of programmatic sales is the automated sales part, meaning I just integrate the ad slot and the ads turn up and I make money. And for us, the core question is, how can we reproduce that for local advertisers? Meaning something like local programmatic. You just integrate the ad slot, and with a very little operational overhead, you're able to get advertising revenues in the $10 to $20 CPMs easily. So why is that not happening so easy, and what do we have to solve for that? Your local advertisers usually have no banners, no landing pages, and very small budgets. So that means that makes it difficult to do it out of from the spot. And often it's hard to argue against social media, search engines, and beyond the cheap clicks. They are used to cheap clicks, so why should they now start paying $10 to $20? That's something that we have to solve, and that we solved, and I will show you how we did it. Third is ad ops, means like approval loops for many small local advertisers. If you have 100 local advertisers and you have to do approval loops for all of them, that easily gets very expensive for publishers in ad ops, in sales reps, in customer success, wherever. And yeah, we just do not have direct contact to a lot of local advertisers anymore. That's something that we definitely see with a lot of publishers. So how to solve that now is our core question. And we said, okay, let's start with monetizing those loyal 10%, the ones that are still doing print ads with us, that are still doing any newspaper ads with us. And later we focus on the 90%. I'll come to that at the end. So in order to get those 10%, we said we need a clear segmentation. We need to learn from those industries that are very successful. In this case, being German, we decided we take the cars industry. And I mean, like you all know it, probably not so familiar in the US, but the Smart, the very smallest car of Daimler. Then we have the Mercedes with the A, B, C, D, E classes. We have the big Maybach Palace on wheels. And there's a very clear segmentation, a very distinct product for each of those groups, and almost no cannibalization in between. And that's what we reproduce for the advertisers in local newspapers. We say they are the regional key accounts. They are already served quite well through your dedicated teams or the agencies that they work with. Then we saw a lot of the national and global clients. We saw what I showed you before, a lot of programmatic with good and bad banners all available. But we say we want to focus on those long tail of SMB clients, the ones that are able to pay high CPMs, so high prices per 1,000 impressions. And as an example, I brought this artificial lawn specialist. That's how their print ad today looks. What can we do with them? And we want to focus on them and say, okay, how can we make that happen? This huge potential of small deals, but a large volume of those deals. And if I read small deals, but large volume, it sounds like a poster boy use case for AI, because that is something where AI just can do magic. And how we do that, it looks like following. We take the print ad basically as a template for our banners. We use it as a mini briefing, but in a second step, we always enrich it with everything that we can find about this business on their homepage, on their Google Places profiles, on their social media profiles. We really get the most complete library about this customer that is possible. And then after step number 1 and step number 2 being super technical, in step number 3, we really take humans out of flesh and blood, native speaking media designers that build perfect ad and landing page in time, and back to technology in step number 4, and directly book it into the ad servers of the newspaper so that no one has to touch them anymore. And then without anyone having to touch this print ad that we saw before from this artificial lawn specialist, we get a carousel ad like this. An ad that not only focus on the clicks, I said before, not only the cheap clicks. This is something that focuses on attention, because people stop, they scroll and swipe through the carousel. They see the messages. It is like local community information that they want to consume. And I showed that in a different example as well. Here we have a carpet company. And what we basically can see here is how this carousel works. We have a lot of little animations. We have it's swiping through as soon as it gets into the visible area. And then if you like it, and that is the next big step, you can click on it, but you do not end up at a page that is done by the advertiser and has no information about the discount offer that I just had in the banner. We always build a landing page that's instantly opening in an overlay. You can see the example here on desktop. You see everything that we found during our research on the internet. You see, we still show a good about us text. We show the print ad. We show a gallery of images that we found. We show the contact boxes, review information, opening hours. So everything that I really care as a user when I want to see something of a local business. And of course, that is mobile first. I see this information on a very decent mobile website as well. And with this, we do 2 things that are beyond the cheap click, what I said before. We bring in a completely new USP. We suddenly want to track how much attention do people spend on the banner and how much time do they spend on the landing page. And that is something that in the end, we are reporting. And we build dashboards for each and every advertiser, those small hundreds of advertisers, and tell them about the quality attention that only newspapers can bring to the table. In this example, 5,000 impressions of the ad. But the great thing is 300 minutes of attention for the users, 300 minutes that the brand message was seen by users. 17 people clicked and they stayed 15 minutes on this ad. So we really on this landing page. So we really make it a story. We once again show what kind of a banner we build. We show the landing page that we build, and we also show how many slides did we show, on which articles did it run, with which devices people came. So we really make it a story that's much more than a click. And by doing that, what we reach is that we get an easy, effective, and sustainable business model. And we allow publishers to really build the so-called feel-good bundles, so that we really make that a default option that all the small advertisers that have not yet been doing any digital ads suddenly can do and must do digital ads, because they get an amazing package. And this is the example that we will later see a little bit more in detail from Newbury News, which is iLive Media. It's the offer to say your brand ad, dear Mr. Advertiser, gets a digital ad, including a landing page. And we do not only serve your ad with a guaranteed number of ad impressions, we also serve it, this is number 4 here, on our homepage carousel. Very prominent, and all of that is done for you just for one all-inclusive price. You don't have to take care. And now, last but not least, that also works for the 90% that we don't have in print anymore. And that makes it so exciting to say, how can we get more local advertisers that we lost? Because those advertisers out there that are not doing any print anymore still do Instagram, for example. This Dungan's carpet company, it has an open house day. They advertise it on Instagram and say, hey, come to us. And we do exactly the same logic. We extract everything from the social media post. We enrich it with everything we can find on the web. And we put that ad on the website of the publisher. It's now in a much better brand environment. We have much higher attention times, and we get this advertiser out of their social bubble, because usually you just reach the same users over and over if you're just posting in your own social bubble. And that's something that works really very well for telesales teams, for example, because the statistics out there are so clear by now that we see on social media, the attention times that a banner gets are almost below 1 second. And if I put the same ad on the website of a publisher, I get more than 5 seconds. Better brand environment, higher view times, and out of the social bubble. And that works very well. And this is our goal, with which we build more than $100,000 revenue per publisher, extra revenue with the long tail advertisers, with low touch operations, AI and human touch, getting the small deal sizes at high volume, and build something that's beyond the cheap click. That's something that's made for the attention economy, and something where I really get a value out of my $99 that I pay, where I get a banner, get a landing page, get a reporting, get an exclusive positioning, and we train the sales teams to, in the end, sell that.
All right. Well, there's so many questions I have, but rather than pose them now, I think if I can get us to Julia next, we might be able to take where the rubber hits the road and then get them answered through a case study of a media company that is doing this. Now, please, if you in our audience have questions, you can go into the chat room right now and start addressing them, please. And by all means, get them in there, and then we'll do our best to answer them either live during the broadcast, or of course we can send you links or reference information or what have you. Let's bring in Julia. Julia, before we start diving into the product and why you're using it, let's first discuss your company. Can you tell us a little bit more about who you are and what you do, and who is your media house group? What are you, and how big are you, and what is your footprint, and all that and more?
Yes, sure. Hello, everybody. Maybe before we dive in, I just saw in the Q&A section that Mike has a problem of seeing and hearing us. I just wanted to make sure that all that we're discussing is not
Mike Silverman. Oh, I see that in the Q&A section.
Yes. I don't know if maybe he's the only one having this problem, or if anyone else has a problem.
No, I have others seem to be attending fine. We even have an attendee that's asking a question. Mike, I don't know what's wrong with your computer. So far, is anyone else having any problem whatsoever? Please let us know. But I'm seeing everything fine, and I'm hearing everything fine. I have a second monitor.
If the rest of the group can hear and see us, that's fine. Okay, then I will just start my introduction. So hello, everybody. I'm Julia Tran. I'm from Germany. I'm COO of a regional publisher based in a city called Aachen, which I think most of you don't know. It's located in the western part of Germany. We belong to Medias Group, which is maybe something that rings a bell for some of you, because it's an international mostly European media group, but also has a location in the States. Yeah, we have publishing companies within Meteors in the Netherlands, Belgium, Luxembourg, Germany, which is us, and Ireland. And maybe can you go back to the to the slide with like the circulation map?
Yeah, I just wanted to show the international.
The international.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think that's good to see. I just wanted to get like our area clear. So we're based in households of an area with households of like 500,000 with 1 million inhabitants in there. What we do is publishing regional newspaper with a circulation of 60,000 copies, 500,000 free sheets that are distributed around this area, and we have around like 2 million monthly page views on our digital website, and 1 million unique visitors. Yeah, that's basically what we do. We continue to our brand. So that's how we look like in print and digital. We are print legacy, but yeah, in the digital transformation. And that's the card of
May I ask,
Meteors.
is your website locked down for digital subscribers only? Or are you wide open? Or you metered? How do you handle your digital audience? Is it subscription based or not, Julia?
It's subscription based.
Okay.
Yes. So we have if we have a paywall and articles that are exclusive, like which we declared as being exclusive because we did the research and the investigation by ourselves, they are locked. And yeah, that's how it works. So everything that is more like global news, weather, cinema program, that's for free. And all of our local news, that's locked.
All right.
And on this slide, you can see, sorry, did you want to?
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. On this slide, you can see our different brands. So we have more than 40 news brands with different profiles within our group. Yeah, you have us as Aachener Zeitung, which is a regional newspaper, but you also have national newspapers like NRC in Amsterdam. But you also have the Luxembourg Times, Luxembourger Wort, which is basically because the country is so small, a regional and international newspaper. So the diversity is quite high within Meteors. We have 2 million subscribers in total with all these brands, 4,500 employees within the whole group, of which 300 are Medienhaus Aachen. And for the mentioned office in the States, that's our company that is also an AI company. Maybe you've heard of it, it's Meta Economics. They are focused on AI-based pricing. So whenever you're thinking of how to determine the right pricing for a specific segment of customer, you go to Meta Economics and they will calculate the right pricing for the specific segment of group of customers.
So let's be clear. Your German-based operation is the only one using these AI-generated ads, or is it across the entire company now?
We also have our Luxembourgish colleagues who use it.
Okay.
But as far as I know, it didn't.
And I think we are in the process, I would say it, yeah.
But you were the first then in the company. Was Julia's team the first to embrace the technology? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. That's what I want to know. So then the next question is, Julia, why the heck did you decide to invest in this? How are sales going? What made you decide to get into AI generated advertising? Here's an example of your show us where they are on the page first, if you don't mind. There you go. So Julia, what got you into this?
So I think in the first place, Christian is a very, very convincing salesman. That's maybe a first. No, just joking. We wanted to find something, as Christian actually described in his presentation, that is easy to sell for our print legacy sales team. So we still have a huge amount of print ads in in our company, we wanted to find a product which is not that complicated to understand for a print salesman, and which is only which doesn't give him more effort to book or to sell. So that was one of the main reasons to go with Smart Ads and Smart to Go.
So most of your advertisers using this tool are print advertisers, correct? Where you did this as an upsell.
Yes, yes, we do it as an upsell. Yes.
Now, as an upsell, does that require the sales rep to do it, or do you just do it electronically by email? Is the sales rep physically showing the advertiser this product on a face-to-face sales call, or is it done in a number of different ways?
It depends on the customers. So there are some customers who are visited by our sales rep, and then obviously if you're in one room and you're having your meeting, then this demo is shown. But we also have some sales rep who just do telephone sales. So you just talk via phone and just sell it via phone, and then you send out the PDF that was just shown, like with all the details of impressions and who are you going to reach and how's the targeting. So it's like both. We have a physical sales, but also like a sales online and via telephone.
All right. Now, let me ask a question. As a sales rep, and I come from the sales side, one of the best ways we've seen to close deals is by doing what's called a spec sale. I don't know, Christian, that means that you have I always joke about this, you have the unmitigated goal to show an ad before it's been purchased. Christian, does Julia have the ability to spec an advertiser, actually use your tool to show an advertiser how exciting this thing is? Look what we've done. We've scraped all your social media. We've looked into your Google profile. We've grabbed your print ad. We've built this amazing environment for you. Or must they buy it first in order to have that done?
So when we introduced the product at the very beginning, we did that for selected advertisers because we wanted to show to them. Now we rather do it on an industry level, that we show, okay, look at this, whatever other bakery, this other craftsman, which is already doing this on Smart Ads. Look how that looks. We can do the same for you. So right now, because we always want to have this human touch level where we say it really has to be great and it's not just AI only. We say we don't do spec ads only because often they don't look that well. So we say we rather show live examples, industry specific, and at the very beginning at the introduction, we did spec ads.
Let me ask you, Julia, this is your pricing model, correct? And I see it's in German, so you're going to have to help me here. That's 35 euros, the base level for 3,000 impressions. Is that correct? Is that what I'm seeing?
That's correct. Yes, that's like the introduction offer. Yeah.
And what is the 300 to the left euros? That's what the print price is?
Yes. So how you have to read it is that our sales rep, once he made first contact to the customer, he will first see what the budget is. So let's say the customer has a budget of 300 euros. Then from this point on, the add-on, the upsell is going to be 35 euros to get this ad digitalized and displayed with like 3,000 page impressions. And then
you guarantee that it's 3,000. So in other words, the way the interface is set up is they're only going to get 3,000 impressions on that page you showed us, and it will stop. Or is that the minimum of 3,000 impressions?
So at first, it's going to be a maximum of 3,000. And if the advertiser wants to have more impressions, then you can see it in the last two lines, the grayish ones, then the advertiser is able to just book more impressions if you would like to.
So when your sales reps are selling this at 35 euros for an upsell, that's not a lot of incentive with their commission, or are they comfortable? I mean, what level are they usually pitching? Or it depends on the size of the advertiser, I'm assuming.
So we on purpose made this offer, and this really low introductory offer to actually push customers and advertisers to the 99 euros. So You see the very low offer and the very low page impressions, and then actually what I see in our statistics is that we mostly sell the middle and the last one, so the 60 euros and the 99 euros one. So that's actually the way to go. So the 35 euros are really for customers like your plumber who doesn't have a lot of budget and who doesn't even have a print budget of 300 euros, but you really want to convince them to do something digital. So you just give it to him for this price to just get him acquainted a little bit with smart ads. That's how we call it, the product.
You ever go out and sell a bundle to a new advertiser, print and this combined together, and show how exciting it is to buy print advertising from us? Because not only is your print ad in this amazing newspaper, but it's also put on steroids, if I may use that, into this wonderful environment. Is there a lot of selling going on that way? Is this product helping you sell more print? That's the big question I'm trying to get to.
No, it's actually helping us to sell more digital. So it's the other way around. We already have our very high print ads. So that's actually the way to digitalize our sales rep and the customers. So we get the print ad anyways, be it a weekly offer of some bakery or some supermarket. So we get it anyway, and in order for them to get more comfortable with our digital products and our digital advertising offers, they get this digital ad.
This digital upsell for the existing print advertiser. All right, so let's discuss your workload. When you sell someone into this, what happens? How do you order the ads from the company? How quickly do they get turned around? How is the customer service? Just tell me, what's the workload like for the ad rep and you and your company?
It's actually like Christian described. So it's basically no extra work. It's so once this PDF that you just see was done, the sales rep, they just go visit their customers or call them. And then once they have their print ad, the print ad is already, so there's a box that is already ticked in our system, which says digital ad, just type in which level you sold, 35 euros, 60 euros, 99 euros. And this box is already ticked. So this is like a default. And then from there on, if everything is set in the system, the print ad is transferred to Smartico. And then Christian said it just takes 24 hours. So like just within a day, you get everything as content ads, as display ad with the landing page, and then we're good to go. So once the sales rep just clicks on save and booking is done, there's no extra workload anymore, and everything is.
And I'm assuming a lot of these sales continue. In other words, once you get someone comfortable with the 99 euro upsell, every time they place a new print ad, the 99's just tacked on, and you're increasing your digital revenue, I assume, correct?
Yes. So our strategy is also to identify the customers who are willing to actually do more than this, because for us, this is like your first entrance to digital advertising. So for us, yes, there are customers who are fine with doing the smart ads and the landing page and the carousel all the time. That's fine. Our second goal, the more midterm strategy, is to develop them furthermore, to just have them buying bigger advertising bundles in digital. So
okay,
yeah, we try both.
And then perhaps to add one point to your question, I mean, like there was one interesting keyword by Julia, this default option. I mean, like especially for those smaller advertisers, you have to make it a default option, not only with each and every next 300 euro print ad, this 35 euro is already as a default included, but also that for the smaller ads, you're not doing an individual sales. You're just going out and say, hey, we now get the full regional reach. You don't have to pay for print and then we make a new pitch for online. It's just integrated all in one. So it's always for the smaller ads that, of course, it's not an individual sales. It needs to be integrated, bundled, and that was the keyword default option, which makes it very neat.
I have one last question for Julia, if I may. And of course, Julia can hang around, and if there's any Q&A going on. Actually, we do have some Q&A as well. I hope we're getting some answers put into there. Julie, what about profit? I mean, we didn't get to the cost. How much are you paying Smartico for each and every, for these? I mean, does it go up and down based on impressions, or is it a flat fee? And what are you seeing for your profit margin on this?
It's a flat fee. I'm not going to disclose how much. I think it's not in Christian's interest to disclose it to this group, because maybe he wants to negotiate with some publishers. But yes,
is it a profitable option for you after you pay the vendor fee and the sales rep, their commission?
Yes.
You're making a good profit on this.
I have to say it's a fair deal. So what you pay is initial setup cost, of course. Then you have monthly hosting fees that apply to everything that they do to create this landing page and to call the information. And then you have a variable fee, which is based on the amount of ads that you sell. So it's a fixed fee based on, so it's also like how do you say that, like a layering. So depending on the amount of ads that you sell per month, the fixed fee changes.
Of course.
And for us, that's how we did the pricing. As of course, there's a margin within the pricing. So from the 35 euros, if we deduct the fixed fee, we still have a profit on that.
Makes total sense. All right.
It's fully priced per ad, and per ad we need to be profitable as well in the 35 euro region, in the 60 region. And I mean, I can disclose that. I had it already on the other slide. So basically, we're trying to take out something like 25 to 30%, and 70% needs to be with the publisher, profitable on each and every ad level. That is where I was
trying to go. So basically, you're keeping, because a lot of vendor costs, especially in the digital service space, has been 50%. And many publishers are going, I don't even want to sell digital services anymore, because by the time I pay the commissions and all the operating fees, there's not enough left there for the effort. If you can keep it down to 25%, 25 to 30%, you're leaving a good margin there. That's pretty good. So now let's get to our, let's leave the German language, if we may. We're running out of time, and get into get into our United Kingdom example here. And Christian, you're going to be handling that one for us as well. Am I correct? You're muted out there, Christian.
Yes, that is correct. I just had to change so that we share the voice, because we have Andrew's statement. So I would quickly show what we did in the UK. So I want to show a little bit how it's done with iLive. So you'll see something that you already know. There is this banderole of smart ads rotating here on iLive. Who is iLive Media? Very quickly. So iLive Media, you can see a few covers of their magazines and newspapers they are doing. Independent multimedia business with an extensive portfolio of newspapers, websites, magazines, radio and television. Already 3 centuries old. And there's roughly 650,000 newspaper readers and 6 million website visitors that they are reaching. And ideally we would have Andrew Harding today with us. As we said before, he had to undergo surgery. He's the head of commercial at iLive Media, number 4 in the regional media groups in the UK. Has been with NRS before, Johnston Press, which is number I think 3 at the moment. So many M&As going on in the UK, and NewsQuest, which is number 2 in the market. So very extensive background in sales and advertising. And he basically rolled it out in UK. He was the first customer that rolled it out together with us in the UK. So this is a little bit of background about the iLive Media Group here. Many different brands that they have, many local brands, many magazines, glossy magazines, but as well a lot of weeklies. That is where they are the strongest here, something like a Cambridge Independent and others that can be seen here. I'll probably go over that due to timing. So, and in 2023, mid of 2023, they decided to go with Smartico. This is the press release that they issued back then, which is Ricky Allen, who together with Andrew Harding introduced that offer to their local advertisers, where they said, we want to go with this AI-driven tool to help our advertisers to, for the first time, really be successful in digital, even if they are the smallest. And basically, how does that look on a portal like Newbury today, which is one of their bigger portals? You saw it before. We have this banderole of all the smart ads that are rotating at this point, which is really like a big advantage. It's not only in rotation on the many article pages, it's a very central point where I always can see if I'm part of smart ads this week. Am I really served? I can see myself, I can show it to partners, I can show it to someone. If I find it interesting, I click on it, and then we would be opening the landing page. I stopped at this point, but this is basically how it looks and how we already saw it before. I'm also showing you how such a landing page looked. That's also not very different from what we saw with Medienhaus Aachen and Mediahus. Once again, we have a gallery, we have the ratings if they are good, we have contact information, we have everything that we need to know about a local business and everything that we need to attract users to stay on the landing page, look at the landing page, and have something where we can in the end report not only view times on the banner, but also view times on the landing page, meaning quality traffic for the local advertisers. I said it before and showed it already before. This is basically the all-inclusive package that they are advertising. Print ad gets a digital ad added with a landing page and will then be served with 5,000 guaranteed ad impressions. So the guarantee of ad impressions is always a crucial part. We have to guarantee a certain delivery, and on top we are putting this prominent positioning on the homepage carousel. And all of that with iLive customers get for one price. How does that look? They have two packages. It's a little bit simpler than the model that we saw before with Medienhaus Aachen, but it totally depends on the type of customers you have, whether you go for the one or the other model. So basically what we at Smartico always do is intensive consulting. What model works best for you, depending on the size and the type and the structure of advertisers you have. They went with a gold package and a silver package. The only distinction between the two packages is the 8,000 versus the 5,000 ad impressions. They are then served over the course of 7 days, meaning most with those weeklies, it means like 1 week, my ad is live in the print, and 1 week, my ad is also live on the website. It's very easy, intuitive to understand for the advertisers. They get their desktop MPU, medium rectangle, they get their mobile ad, they get the landing page, they get the placement on, they call it the banderole, the local business carousel, and it's a very easy and very intuitive program that they offer. And as I said before, unfortunately, Andrew can't be with us today, but he recorded a little message, and I would guess it's best if I let him talk why they decided to go with smart ads, what they did with smart ads, and how it worked for them.
With you today, but I know Christian and Justin have gone through Newbury as a sort of a small case study amongst many, I'm sure. And just to add really a couple of points from our side. Strategy for our business moving forward over the last how many years has always been to make sure that we don't allow customers just to take the print products or products on their own. They need and should have a digital offering with it and a digital option. And that's always been the case. There comes a stage when, you know, as I'm sure it is for you, where you just won't allow print-only ads anymore. But having a roster and a suite of options for customers is really important. So, you know, smart ads did that for us in terms of the kind of not just the smaller kind of customers, but small to medium businesses that either didn't want a social campaign, didn't want some of our social, some of our digital display options. Smart ads feel that it's efficient, it's simple, and it was really cost effective. And I think that worked for us. It fitted very nicely with what we needed to do from a business point of view and a strategy for the business. Second point, just want to mention is value for money. I think when you look what they get back, these customers, for a very, very affordable price point, is excellent. You know, the display ads, the landing page, really, really professionally done, very nice and simple, you know, it really makes it, the customer really feels they're getting that value for money in a professional sense too. They look really good, and it's a really nice service. It gets back to them quick, you know, get back to us quick, sorry. So they're getting, and they're seeing their digital display side of things on the website, really, really smartly done. So it's fantastic value for money. Something I just want to mention in terms of the reports you get back as well from Smart Ads are really, really good and really strong, really nicely presented. You know, customers get it, they understand it, they can see it. One thing that we wanted to make sure is just make sure you level expectations with the team. The actual additional reach they get, the additional eyeballs that they're getting on their message and their communication ads, it's probably just as important, if not more important, than the click-throughs that go through to the landing page or through to the website. So just make sure that that is really hammered home with the team, because they can get hung up on, you know, they're measuring their click-through rates up against social media and this kind of thing. You know, they will get click-through rates, but the extended reach they're getting and the additional eyeballs on their ad is really, really important. So just make sure that's all through. But it's a great piece of kit. It's, as I said, efficient, simple. Everything is done in a really smart way, and customers get it, they see it, they enjoy it, and they get value for money. So what's not to like? Okay, thanks so much, and good luck, everyone.
Well, that was quite a testimonial there, Christian. But again, and if I'm going to pose this to you, sir, as the CEO of the company, in both of these cases, and I hope this is not a hard question, you're upselling the print advertiser. Many of our customers here in the U.S., or maybe it's not many, but many of the potential customers in the U.S. are selling more digital sometimes than print. I think, and maybe you could disagree with me, Christian, this could be an opportunity to sell more print if you were bundling in this as a print sale. Am I making sense, Christian? In other words, look what we're going to do for you now. You're going to get a quarter page every week in our weekly paper. Plus, you're going to get this amazing landing page. Plus, you're going to get this incredible display, this MPU on our website. Plus, you're going to have this mobile delivery as well. We're going to guarantee that print, this entire package is seen thousands of times. Is that being pitched in any of your markets right now? Is that a concept that we should be looking towards, Christian?
So I would definitely say that the package makes it more attractive, and the package always can go into two directions. I mean, like, if I have a strong print customer that wants to do print, I make the advantages, or put the advantages of online first and say, okay, that's a great extension. You should also do digital. And then it's exactly what Julia said. I can get this customer to do more online over time. But of course, we can also do the different way and say, okay, this price, I mean, like we saw it with Julia for 35, or now with Andrew for 59 pounds. I mean, like, this exclusive offer you can only get if you have done a print ad, because otherwise buying it somewhere else, by getting a digital ad, getting a landing page, getting this exclusive positioning, getting a 5,000 ad impressions, and you could look into the rate cards, that will definitely cost you more than 35 or more than 59 dollar, euro, or pound. So that is definitely something that I think makes the package of print ads more attractive. We see that especially with advertorial ads, where we really see that this makes the advertorial ads live longer, because it just adds more value to this print online combination, which can't be separated.
Now, there were some questions going on in the chat room that are being asked, and it was very lively in there, and they're being answered privately. Let me just pose some to the group, to you. Who owns the final product? The advertiser owns, I mean, can the advertiser, how should I put this? The landing page goes away after it's built, it's going to be live, or is that landing page living forever that the advertiser can point to in off of their own website? So this, go ahead, Christian.
So the standard is that really the landing page and the banner go offline as soon as the campaign is done. But what we do, and what's quite attractive to a few publishers, is to say, okay, we take that landing page that we built and use it as a company profile on the URL of the news website, because that is like very relevant local information, something that ranks in SEO and something that the advertisers will reuse for the next social media campaign and others because they don't have better landing pages. So we are using that. It is possible as a upsell to that to have the landing page as a permanent landing page and have this permanent landing page as a company profile.
And you can build a directory of advertisers.
Yes,
and then
exactly.
that's.
For example, Newbury News does that. And when we send around the materials, I can also include a link to that. So you see how, for example, Newbury News is doing that.
That would be, please do put that in the chat room if you can, or put it up, because that, or send it off to the registrant list. That to me could make this an entirely exciting thing, because you're not just doing display ads on the site, but you're building a directory as well. All right, bring it home. We're at the end of our journey now, Christian. What
just
offer
one
do you
thought
have?
to that. It's really done. It suddenly can become something like a subscription revenue, because if I get this person to have this company profile on forever, he either needs to do new smart ads, whatever, or new digital ads every month, or they just have to buy an annual subscription to be in this company profile. So there are a lot of options. And as I said, this is just like a very short, small glimpse of what we are doing. And in order for you to see more what we are doing, we have, as we call it, an unbeatable offer, because we have been doing that for the very first time in 10 years. And we're just doing that now in May 2024. We take really 1 month of free print to online smart ads for one of your titles. So that means like we just test drive that for 1 month. We upsell, we bundle those small print advertisers that are not yet doing any digital. We prove that we can extend them to digital. We prove that we can make more money for you with this. For 1 month, and then we see that we could do a contract. That is something exclusively only if you write me an email to cs@smartico.one, and then hopefully we make some money together. That's the offer for you.
That is a hard value proposition to argue with, sir. All right, if there's any final questions, please post them into the Q&A or the chat room. Julia, any final thoughts for any publisher out there now that is hesitating or thinking, should I do this? Shouldn't I do this? I got a lot on my plate right now, a million things that I have to accomplish before the end of the month. Any final advice you'd like to offer?
I would say if you start, then make sure you get a really good sales kickoff with Christian and his team. That's really helpful for to prepare like all the sales rep to sell. And then second, like what we learned from our journey is that it should be like a bundle and a package. So it's not advisable, and it's not going to sell that successfully if you just keep it optional. That's what we learned. Yeah.
A bundle, I bet, which is actually a lot of the research here in the US says advertisers are much more apt to want. They want products with legacy and digital bundled together. And in fact, that was a big topic at the Burrell conference this year. Final thoughts, Christian, for the audience.
No, I just want to say, just try it out. I mean, like there's nothing to lose as long as I put out this free offer. And if you are hesitant, just reach out and we discuss more cases. This was just 2 exemplary cases, and we have more than 500 from Europe. So I'm sure there might be also one that might fit your requirements. And as Mike already said, there are so many cases what smart ads can help. It can make print stronger. It can make a start into digital. It can monetize customers that are neither in print nor on online today on your site, but only on social media. So many, many use cases. Reach out, let us discuss, and let's make some local advertising revenues together.
Thank you, panel, for your valuable time today. And thank you, audience, for your time as well. We appreciate it.
Thank you.